Here we are again, week 6. This week, going to be pretty busy for the recruits. We have command and control this week. We have multi-company evolutions. We're going to do vehicle extrication. We're going to be doing alley lays for them. So a lot of time spent outside this week. We've spent a lot of time in the classroom in the past 5 weeks, so we're hoping to get outside and do some more hands-on skills. Not only do we have all those things this week, what else starts this week, Molly?
We have International Women's Day on Monday. So with that in mind, our sponsor this week is going to be the Women of the UFA. So we have a ton of women who work here, both sworn and civilian positions, that the department would not be the same without. I'm super fortunate I get to work with Maddie every day. She's really, as you guys know from last week's sponsor, the glue that holds this training facility together.
I also love seeing the female recruits come through. It's awesome to watch them be able to keep up and sometimes be in front of the line with a lot of things too. But yeah, we have 4 in our camp right now, and they're all great, and it's just really awesome to see all the recruits come through and be able to do all this. It's pretty cool.
Yep, these women are super important to me. There are days that the dudes, we like to get ahead of ourselves. We like to get out in front, and they keep us grounded. It's nice to work together as one big happy family. There's no lines, there's no divides. We just all work together as firefighters.
Hey guys, my name is Matt Hamilton. I'm a captain at Station 117, C Platoon. So today we're out at the Magnet Training Center with our recruit class. Today they are learning vehicle extrication techniques. So we've given them a didactic portion in the classroom, and we're heading out to one of our local wrecking yards where we've got about 6 or 8 cars, and we're going to put them through some vehicle extrication evolutions. One of our bread and butter evolutions or methods for dismantling a car is called a sidewall removal, more commonly known as a B-pillar blowout. It's essentially completely removing one side of a sedan type vehicle. So that's sort of our baseline that we want to get the recruits competent going through that particular skill set. So we'll work on that today, and then we'll supplement that with some more technical evolutions that my crew will demonstrate for them. So in the beginning of all this, right, there are some sort of precursors to actually performing any cuts on a vehicle. So we go through those sort of what we call pre-extrication steps, and that involves safetying the vehicle, stabilizing it, what we call lodoing the vehicle, which is lockout tagout, where we ensure that the vehicle's off, the keys are removed from the vehicle, so there's no chance that vehicle can move on us. Then we'll go through and remove any electrical hazards, so we'll disconnect the batteries from vehicles. So we'll take the recruits through all those steps. So there are always hazards involved with vehicle extrication, and which we mitigate those as much as we can. Now it's certainly different from a fire scenario. So in vehicle extrication, we don't have the propagation problem that we would have on, say, a structure fire, but there are very specific hazards, specifically if there are hazardous materials involved, say in like a commercial vehicle. So we will address all those. So it's important for all of our employees to be familiar and competent with the extrication skill set, because really, I mean, rescue is a big part of what we do. Annually, there are about 35,000 deaths in the U.S. from vehicle-related accidents. So that responsibility falls squarely on our shoulders as a firefighter. We have an ethical and moral obligation to absolutely be the best we can be with regard to protecting those people we've sworn to protect. So this skill set is part of that.
So we keep getting asked the question, if you're the nozzle firefighter, should I or should I not have a tool? Okay, I just showed you a really cool way to be hands-free and have a tool on you. Okay, the ways I'd like to show you, if it's hot and smoky, okay, I don't want none of this stuff, because what's going on? Where's my eyeballs?
Looking down.
Down. So one thing, and if I'm down like this and I'm pulling the hose like this, what's the problem? I'm gonna wear myself out, okay? So anchor it off like this, okay? If I stay down, I'm still down, my head's up, I can see what's going on, and I'm going to use my body weight and good body mechanics and momentum to be able to move the hose. I can put this tool out in front of me and sound. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there just shows you a nozzle firefighter with a tool. Here's another one. It's not hot and smoky. If it's not hot and smoky, you need to be down. Do I have the holes in the tool?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's weird. Halligan. Hose. You good?
Yes, sir.
That's the third way, okay? And then the way I just showed you, what you're gonna do in a second. How many other ways do you want me to give you?
Let's start with those for now and then give us more later.
Okay, I'll go back to the drawing board, I guess. Okay, get your packs on. Okay, a fourth way. Fourth way. Okay, we'll talk about like two-handed attack teams, three-handed attack teams, and just the game changers here and there, okay? Here's a fourth way. Halligan tool, I gotta give credit to this technique. Firefighters in Aurora, Colorado, okay? I saw it once and was like, that was gangster, okay? It's really cool, okay? Beveled edge, on your shoulder, underneath the strap. Up and over, down, okay? With your left hand, you can feel this bevel. It's important that this bevel is facing your palm of your hand, okay? Important. That means that the pike and the adze are right here and it's gonna hang, okay? If you need it out, you kick it out, push it up, grab it with the other hand. Work on some flexibility, I guess. Yes, sir. Okay, see what happened here? That beveled edge is super important. What happened when you did that is it turned and you're trying to get it out now. If that beveled edge stays the same way, you get it here. If you don't have that leverage, bring your hand down. You got it. You ready?
Yes, sir.
You got that nervous look on your face.
I'm ready, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Normal look, sir.
Is it today?
Yeah, it's today.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, beveled edge. Okay, it turned a little bit, okay? What's the other F word?
Fun.
Finesse.
Finesse.
Okay, good. Hey, it's Sean with UFA Fire Training. This prop today, what we're working on is hose management. Again, I know, weird. But the recruits are in the mindset that we have, what we're trying to accomplish is having 50 feet of working hose per floor of the home. So that's the frame of mind that they're in as they come off this rig. We're getting them inside here and just showing, being able to pay attention to the indicators being the couplings. Our hose is sectioned out in 50 feet. So each coupling represents 50 feet of hose. With a two-person attack team, we're managing hose enough to be able to work in this main floor that you see, and then transitioning to the basement and getting enough hose into the basement. And other things that we're being able to affect is door control with two firefighters and hose management in here.
We're going to take a nozzle and a coupling, go into the front door just until we get that bite in there, which is about a total of 50 feet. We'll take that 50 feet to the top of the stairs. Once we get to the top of the stairs, he can run back behind me, either close that door, or we can take another bite of the hose, prop it up against the door. So we've got door control. I'm able to affect change with the hose downrange, in the house, down in the basement, whatever the case may be, but we've got the door shut and we're both within 15, 20 feet of each other.
Yeah, and the other thing that these guys are figuring out is that it can, really fast, you can expend a lot of energy getting enough hose into the building that you need to fight the fire. So when we're in here, we're able to slow it down a little bit, talk about the things that they need to be aware of, body positioning, hose positioning, nozzle positioning, treating things space by space. And as we're doing that and other firefighters have their job, just your situational awareness. How many bedrooms are we dealing with? If we have big family room or dining room to the right or the left, where the location of the stairs are. And realizing that we can get a lot done with a minimal effort. And you guys have anything to say about that?
Great training. A lot of new stuff, like crazy new stuff, and it's not easy, but it's fun.
Who's he kidding? He doesn't even know what day of the week it is. All right. Okay, well, we'll get inside and we'll show you some of the things that we're working on. Okay, now we're going to go over the top of the stairs. Here is a way, not the way. What's violent about basement fires?
The heat and smoke coming up.
From what?
What's burning down below the fire.
So this would be the what?
The chimney.
Okay, and I'm worried about the stairs being sound, okay? So this is where we're gonna flip a little bit. Who is a nozzle firefighter? Okay, so you're gonna give him the tool. then I need you to sound some stairs for me. Just get here, okay? As a backup firefighter, watch your feet. Right here, don't move yet. From right here, okay? I can affect a lot of change in the stairwell by pulling the line and just sounding. Go. Okay. Stop. Now you need the nozzle. From right here, I can feed until I can feel this nozzle hit the ground. Right there, okay? Now you can come down and grab the nozzle and get to the bottom of the stairs. Bottom of the stairs. Okay, go 3 feet in front, up against this wall.
Yes, sir.
You good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember how I showed you how to anchor that hose with your leg, moving forward?
Yes, sir. I need a little bit more hose to do that.
More?
Just a little bit more hose to be able to do that.
How's that?
Good.
Okay, I want you to do that, but facing the opposite direction.
Yes, sir.
Good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now as I give you slack, a couple things. If there's fire straight away in front of him, and it's just ripping in the basement, he's got the nozzle down there, he can open it up, and he can say, get down here.
So this is the Tarver drill. Brett Tarver was a firefighter in Phoenix Fire in the greater Phoenix area. Came disoriented, hypoxic in a mercantile fire at a grocery store 300 feet in. He was combative with his rescuers when they realized that he was lost. Took about 50 minutes to get him out, where he later passed. The point of this drill is to have the R.I.T team and the rescue team go in, make contact, deal with a combative firefighter, and come up with a plan to try and get him out. You've got a lost firefighter who's disoriented. Mayday's been called. Somewhere in the structure, lots of debris, lots of obstacles. What you guys need to do here is be smart, right? You need to find your own way out, so you need to take a rope bag in with you, or two, to make that grab.
Today's a big day for us. We have Heavy Rescue 117 out here teaching R.I.T to the recruits. So started off in the classroom with a really good lecture covering R.I.T procedures, rescue procedures, that kind of stuff, and then we got into some case studies. So we went over Black Sunday out of FDNY. We covered the Brett Tarver incident out of Phoenix. Then we transitioned the classroom portion out onto the drill grounds. So out on the drill grounds, we have some separate stations set up. One of those being the Brett Tarver incident. What happened with Brett Tarver is a commercial structure, large commercial structure, stretched a dry hose line in. Him and his crew went in to fight fire, became lost and disoriented, had to withdraw from the structure, and unfortunately Brett Tarver didn't make it out of the structure. Multiple crews made entrance in trying to get a hold of firefighter Tarver, were unable to do so, or if they did, he was combative, hypoxic, and fighting these crews. So our crews are simulating that. We've got a firefighter who's become hypoxic and disoriented, and we're sending multiple rescue crews in there to try to get air and hands on the firefighter to help bring them out and rescue them from the situation. So we've come up with some new tactics and some new techniques that we're teaching the recruits as far as hooking a tagline to the firefighter. So if he is hypoxic or tries to get away from us, we've got a lifeline on him and we can bring him out. Another good drill we're doing out there is the Denver drill. So Denver drill was Mark Langvart, 1992, out of Denver, Colorado. Unfortunately, they were fighting a fire in a lightweight wood frame structure with limited access, and firefighter Langvart was trapped in a small room. It was about 24 inches wide, and the window sill height was about 42 inches. So they located him from the exterior and tried to get firefighter Langvart up out of the window, and it was extremely difficult. They worked for about 55 minutes, and he succumbed to the environment around him. So we've come up with new techniques and new tactics to rescue people from these situations. Unfortunately, a lot of the times we're reactive to these situations. So we have a situation that happens. Sometimes it doesn't go well, and then we're reactive to that, and we figure out how can we fix that, right? So what we're doing out here with these recruits is teaching them new techniques and tactics, trying to be proactive and trying to get them to be aggressive in their training and to be forward thinking about these things so that we don't have these situations, and hopefully we can prevent these from happening.
Engine 192, engine 194, engine 193. Units en route to the structure fire, you will. Units en route to the structure fire at 8060 west, 3950 south. Multiple callers on this. Caller is stating that there is a fire in the house across the street. Unknown if there are any occupants in the structure at this time. And she is saying that the access is restricted to this structure. Don't worry about that. We're now getting into multi-company drills, and this will be kind of the first week and the first day that they'll be responding multi-company together, responding to an actual structure fire that we'll control up there and we'll set on fire for them. They've been, the last couple of weeks, we've been working on, you know, trash fires, car fires, pulling hose, getting them ready to go. As far as each individual piece that needs to take place on a structure fire. So that being search and rescue, that being hose line deployments, that being getting ready for R.I.T, that getting ready for water supply, hydrants, all that. Today will be the day that we'll try to put all those skills together. We'll make it even a little bit more difficult for them, and we're going to start out with an alleyway so they understand how that works as well. So we're kind of incorporating that into this skill this afternoon. We'll run multiple scenarios this afternoon. We'll switch it up on them. We've been pretty simplistic as far as how we've set our scenarios up, where there's been one directive. We go to from start of A, and we go to Z, and they know that that's a straight line. Today we're going to zigzag that line a little bit, and there's going to be multiple points along the way. We'll throw some curveballs at them today. That being, we'll have a fire probably this afternoon. We'll have it on the first floor. We'll put a victim on the second floor, but we'll have some extension into that second floor as well. So they're going to have to do their best, be very meticulous of what they're doing to pay attention to the conditions around them, what's going on in the structure. We talked about smarter, faster, stronger. I think we've done pretty well with the faster and stronger piece. Now we're going to really start hitting home on this smarter piece, so that they're paying attention to the structure, they're paying attention to what they're doing, whether that comes down to individual tactics or that comes together as a whole, as an old multi-company incident. So this will be really good for them today to see what really takes place on the fire ground and how they need to work together as a team with all four companies, and I'm excited to see how they do.
Okay, same plan, right? I got the Y. Minuteman run up.
Okay, Camp 5-4 week 6. We have a special guest out here today. Tell us your name.
I'm Koston Anderson.
So Koston is my oldest son. He's out here doing what today, bud?
Job shadow day.
Okay, what do we do?
Burn cars.
Yeah, we did. We burned cars. So he's out here as part of a job shadow for his school. It's super special to me. It's super cool to have him want to come out here with his dad and to see what I do on a daily basis. So today is alleyway to car fires. So Koston was able to build some big fires and then light them on fire, and then we let the recruits do some alleyways using 2.5 and 3-inch supply lines, deploying cross lays and attacking fire from restricted access, restricted locations. So it's been cool to have him out here and watching the recruits. And how many points did you end up today?
2.
2 points, but more importantly, who did you beat in the workout for? All the recruits, huh? Yeah, it's awesome. So it's been really cool to have him out here, man. It's good.
Name's Hardman, firefighter specialist, hazardous materials. 26 years on the department, still going. I always wanted to come out here and take the things that I've learned over the years and hand that down to new and up and coming firefighters. I've been through a lot of experiences. Good ones, bad ones, tough times, You know, stuff that it makes you go home and cry at night, stuff that you come home full of joy and elation and just happy to be at the job. And it's a tough road. After 26 years, you walk a lot of paths, and it's been a really difficult and rewarding road. And I wanted to take that to the young firefighters out here and help them along. I got hired on real young. I just turned 21 out of recruit camp when I got hired on. And I remember how young and naive I was, and I had to grow up really fast, really, really fast. And again, I wanted to be able to hand that off and help those guys along and hopefully not make the same mistakes that I made. I also knew as you become an old dog within a department, you kind of get set in your ways. And there's a lot of stuff that they're doing now that is smarter, safer, that a lot of times we just don't get. And so not only do I want to come out here and pass knowledge along to younger firefighters, this is as much for me as it is for them. Kind of a good reset. I've gained so much knowledge out here and the way things operate. It has renewed my joy, and the faith in the camaraderie and the brotherhood that is brought out here of what it should be and can be and should be within the department. Teaching the classes, teaching the recruits, I've learned all sorts of new techniques. It's got me in shape. You become kind of apathetic at the station at times, but all around it's been a good mental and physical wake up and a good renewal of what firefighting is all about.
I grew up in a fundamentalist Mormon community. It was a closed community, deeply religious. I loved it growing up. It was a great time as a kid. As I got older, there were expectations for my future that I felt like other people had, and that in a lot of ways I had for myself. And I didn't fit. Those expectations weren't what, I guess, resonated with me. They didn't match my interests, my talents. And I struggled with that for a long time because I felt like I was boxed in. And it was, a lot of that was in my own head, and eventually I reached a point that I realized I'm the person who has to look myself in the mirror every morning. And I have to be the person that decides what I want to do with the short period of time that I'm given. I can't live it according to other people's expectations or what I think that they'll think of me. And I stepped outside of that box. And it was an interesting experience for me because I'd grown up in an area where I didn't know anybody that believed or thought any differently than me. And suddenly jumping into something like this, I started out part-time for UFA, was a huge eye-opener. It was a huge cultural adjustment. It was a ton of fun. Like it took a lot of time for me watching people and figuring out how everybody else interacts and how to deal with a variety of different people, but I've loved it. It's been an amazing time. When I started part-time, I was a little lost. I was a little lost and a little lonely. And I made a lot of friends there that ended up being more like family, really. These are people that mean a lot to me, and I want to be next to them when we're doing what we do. I decided pretty quickly I wanted to go full-time. I wasn't satisfied with just the part-time aspect of it. I want to make this a career. And I applied for the position for full-time, and I was fortunate enough to make it. I'm very, very happy to be here. It means a lot to me. It's a long ways from where I started. It's been a ton of fun. It's been difficult, for sure. I'm 5'2". I'm a very, very small woman. And the physical side of it it's hard. I've had to work a lot harder than people that are bigger than me. But I do it. Sometimes I do things differently. Sometimes I use a different technique. Sometimes, what I do has to be managed differently. But there's not a single thing that they've thrown at me yet that I haven't been able to do. And there are some places that the size is even an advantage. The confined space maze, I go through that so much easier than the bigger guys. If they ever need somebody up in an attic, that's me. But it's been an amazing time and I've loved it, and I'm so excited for what we've got coming forward.
So my name is Emily Wood. I'm 23 years old. I'm from South Jordan, Utah. When I was in high school, I took the EMT course offered through Unified Fire with Jordan Applied Technology Center. I was planning on doing medical school at the time, wanted to get my foot in the door with medicine and see if I even liked it or was any good at it. I ended up just falling in love with emergency medicine and ended up doing the firefighting internship with Unified Fire out at 107 in Kearns. Fell in love with just the hard work. You learn something new every day. Humbled by something every day. There's always an opportunity to grow and to learn. I ended up getting on part-time with Unified Fire as an EMT, as an event EMT, ended up transitioning over into part-time EMS in the stations. I just loved the opportunity for growth. I initially had no plans going into fire. I was just kind of there for the medical side, but I just fell in love with the crews and the opportunities to be there for people on their worst days and always learning, always growing. There's always ways to be better. I ended up getting my degree from the University of Utah in communications with a minor in health. I went out after graduating. From there, I went out to Washington, D.C. for a few years where my husband was active duty Marine Corps. I was a Marine Corps contractor, civilian out there as well. We just moved back to Utah last summer and went through the whole testing process with Unified Fire. Ended up here with 32 other wonderful individuals and a fantastic cadre. I'm humbled by something every single day here. I kind of came into camp, I'm a power lifter outside of work, so I kind of came in thinking I was going to be able to do everything. I was familiar with what fire was kind of and the medical side and everything, and I thought I was strong and tough. And every single day I find something new that I'm not good at, and I love the challenge of working through it, finding, you know, a way to be better for myself, finding a way to push our fellow recruits, working well with the cadre. I love the opportunity to push each other, to be better every day. As Captain Dingle says, better, faster, stronger every day till the end of camp. We'll barely even recognize who we were at the beginning of camp. It'll be kind of fun to look back, see how far we've grown. I love the opportunity that Unified has to interact with the community in a personal way. It's not just being there for them on their worst days. It's interacting, getting to know the community on the good days, on the parades, city council meetings, you know, interacting every day. We do a lot more than just putting fires out on houses, just transporting people to a hospital. We really are there for our communities, and I love that.
Hey, it's Sean with UFA Fire Training. We're out here with Camp 54, and we're wrapping up week 6, and it was a hell of a week, to say the least.
Yeah, super exhausting week for us and the recruits. They accomplished a lot, they learned a lot, and it was just a good, solid week for them. They had to make a good physical push, and they came through good.
Yeah, making a good transition now from what we've kind of crawled a little bit, started to walk, and started running this week a little bit. So I think they're starting to put the big picture together and starting to run some multi-company evolutions with everything we've taught them. Like I said earlier, when we talked to you a little bit about when we did multi-company evolutions, it's going to make a lot more sense to them why we teach them what we teach them. So things are going well.
Yeah, we're looking forward to week 7, and we hope you're enjoying the videos. Make sure to check us out on YouTube, Instagram, subscribe, and yeah, they're getting stronger, they're getting faster, they're getting smarter. Super high speed, and they're getting a lot of reps in with all these skills that they're learning out here. So they're continuing to get better each and every week, and just excited for the next week.
Stick with us.
Subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.